Is buying a Mercedes on Bring a Trailer a good idea? Part 2. If you were watching this video, you saw that it was interrupted due to technical difficulties. There was plenty of good information left, so we're going to continue where we left off. 300 SEL 6.3, if you recall, new exhaust hangers, electronic ignition, etc., etc. But the truth is that the big items were overlooked. Air suspension valves, front subframe mounts, heater levers, AC compressor reseal, rear axle bearings and mounts. These are all very expensive and physically demanding jobs that nobody wants to do. And very frequently on BAT, you see a lot of cars that have been offered for sale where the big jobs are left untouched simply because nobody wants to do those jobs. Nobody wants to flip a 6.3 and say, oh gosh, I've got to pull the rear axle out, totally disassemble it, change the boot, change all the bearings, spend $400 and something on an upper differential mount. Nobody wants to do that, so they're not going to do it. I've seen some cars offered for sale and Bring a Trailer where an obsessive, insane amount of money was spent on quote unquote making the car perfect. But often this will just reflect one area of the car. It won't reflect the entire vehicle. So somebody might say, I've rebuilt the engine on this 280 SL and have all the receipts for a rebuilt engine, but then they haven't done anything about the transmission or the rear axle, both of which are equally important. I think that buying a car and Bring a Trailer is possible, but you have to inspect the car in person. Now remember that BAT allows for a clause that says that you only have to pay them and not the buyer if you don't like the car. So your bid is not a binding contract to buy the car. It's just a binding contract to give Bring a Trailer a little bit of money. Your bid on Bring a Trailer is not a legally binding contract to purchase the car. It's just a legally binding contract saying that if you're the winning bidder, you're going to give Bring a Trailer their $700 or whatever they ask from the winning bidder who's going to buy the car. And I think that this makes it a safe deal and it gives bidders a way out. I would say that if you win a car on BAT, it is absolutely critical to go inspect the car in person. Don't get caught up in the glam and the hype and the fantasy unless. Now, there is a scenario where buying a car and Bring a Trailer works for you. And a lot of people aren't able to relate to this scenario. But if you absolutely don't care what is wrong with the car and you have to have it, and you're okay with, say, buying a 300 SEL 6.3, turning around and spending $30,000 to $35,000 in the car and being happy that you just got the 6.3 you wanted, then bid away. It's amazing, though, how many people actually end up doing this. I've been in that position before with a car. I'm not going to lie. When I acquired my 280 SE 4.5, I said, I love this car so much, I'm going to give it whatever it needs. And that's what I did. But the underlying problems with that car were offset by the low purchase price. I think what irritates me about BAT is that people are getting top of the market money for cars that are relatively unsorted. Of course, it's hard to find great cars, and every old car needs something. So maybe a lot of buyers in Bring a Trailer are applying this logic as well. However, if we don't buy these cars, then what ends up happening? They get parted out. Of course, if a car's in Bring a Trailer, that's probably not its future. But I always tell people, buy a car that is not as prolifically advertised. Look for deals, because the deals are the cars that often get purchased by people like Jonas, who's probably watching this video, and get parted out because he doesn't know what else to do sometimes. Or what was that place called? Oh gosh, Reinvent the Wheel. That place on eBay that I can't stand, Ramon's outfit that sell UAS, used auto services. You know, if you don't buy these cars and save them and look for deals on Craigslist, somebody else is going to find a deal, but it's a different kind of deal, a deal where they get to pick the car apart and use the remains for, nothing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, part 2 of this video, and got some useful information out of it. If you're a Patreon supporter, thank you so much. And if you love driving your Mercedes Benz and you appreciate the car you have, leave a comment below. We're doing this for you. And if you really love this video, share it with somebody that you're close friends with who also loves these cars. Thanks for watching.